Hello there, I'm Joe Terrell from Velocity Links, and I would like to share with you my methodology for doing a backlink audit. So why would you do a backlink audit, and what is that? So a backlink audit is a way of filtering out anything negative in your website or your client website's backlink profile. There's quite a lot of nuance to that, which I will try to cover for you. When would you do that? Well, I think if you're purchasing a new website, or maybe you've inherited a new website, or if you've brought on a new client and they have an existing website, all of these would be fantastic times to do a backlink audit. So why should you listen to me? I've been in SEO for 8 years, give or take a few years, and I've built a portfolio of successful websites. My favorite website is an automotive gaming site called drifted.com, and we took that from maybe 100 page views a month to 2 million page views a month. So I have been immersed in the world of backlinks for a really long time, because that to me is the biggest, strongest signal for Google search. Even today, with the latest algorithms in 2025, backlinks, if nothing else, have become stronger than ever. So we'll get started with this tutorial by picking a candidate website. It's a website that I know. It's owned by a friend in the pet niche. It's quite a big one, so there should be some juicy stuff to pick through, and we'll go from there. So the domain I'm looking at today is called petful.com, and we want to check the backlink. So let's have a look. First of all, I'm going to start out here, as this is a new site to me, so I want to have a look at the link profile over time. Let's say, okay, it was at 3,700, and today 5,200. So that's a lot. That's 1K, 1.5K increase in a year. That's possible with link building, but seems that would be very expensive. I'm not sure that's right. 5 years ago, it was around 3.8K, peaked at 7K. Looks like they had a big purge of backlinks there, and it's crept up. It's actually jumped up in the last quarter. So that's unnatural. That's very unnatural. It's maybe 1,000, or nearly 1,000, maybe 800-900 referring domains have jumped in the last quarter. So all very strange. Now, I happen to know the owner of this website, and he's told me that he hasn't bought any backlinks or done any link building of any kind since he's owned it. So I know all of this is quite suspicious. If we have a look at organic search, let's just take a peek at what's happened to that over the years. So this was quite a big site. I think if we go even further back, yeah, so nearly 600,000 clicks a month. Pretty impressive for a content site. Looks like it declined sharply in the medic. I think that was medic update. Core update, mobile speeds. Okay, it was around there, 2018. It's been on a fairly stable but mild decline over the years, and I'm guessing that's going to be the HCU that got it. No, it was actually declining before then, actually summer of 23. But yes, it's stabilized now, but it's considerably lower than it was. So there's loads of factors for that. It's never just going to be links, but we're here to specifically rule out the links from the equation. So that's good. So let's take a look. Or before we do jump into the links, let's cross-reference see if there's any patterns in the backlinks and the organic traffic. So orange line is organic clicks, and blue line is referring domains. So I mean, yeah, you can, I don't know if that's a positive correlation, but as the referring domains have spiked, the traffic has certainly been declining, but we'll have to see. Nothing too conclusive there. It looks very unnatural, though. That's a lot of domains to be building. If you are running a link building campaign, you're going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars to achieve that. So it's probably quite unlikely that's the case. So okie dokie. So we want to go over to the referring domains, and there's a lot. Okay, so right off the bat, we're nearly 5,300 90 referring domains. So this is a big site. Looking at who the people at the top of the DR pool are, we've got some big names here: New York Times, BBC, CNN. These are huge pillars of the internet. So I mean, their traffic numbers are insane. They're in the millions and millions and millions. So all good stuff there. So it's obviously a powerful domain, and that's why it's got a domain rating of 71. So that makes sense. We're not going to mess with these. In fact, when you're doing a backlink audit, it's best to I prefer to start at DR15 and below. DR15 can give value. I mean, any link can give value, and the DR doesn't tell the whole story. It's just indicative, and it will help us filter it down. When there's so many backlinks here, having such a filtering it down by DR is going to help us just manage that and make it a bit more feasible. So let's dig in. We're going to filter it by DR. So let's say 215. All right, great. Like that. Yep. So give us all of the domains that are linking to our target site, which are DR15 or below. It's about 3K domains there. So that's a lot. So actually, if you look in the domain distribution over here, yeah, so if you're looking at, this is by DR, the vast majority is in the 0 to 9 range, over just around 40%. That's a lot of crap, quite honestly. Okay, that's fine. So back to it then. Right, so we've got our filters locked. I think if I can just walk you through some of the signals that I'm going to be looking at, I think that would be helpful on this screen. And then the next step would be to export this into a Google Sheets file, document, organize it a bit better, add some conditional formatting to make it visually easier to see. And then once we've assessed which sites we want to get rid of, we are going to use something called Google's disavow tool. It's not something you'll find in Google Search Console, and but it's super helpful. They hide it away these days, but yeah, it makes a difference. I've had sites. One of my most popular sites has been attacked multiple times with spam links, whether that's just happenstance or competitors at the time, who knows. But what you'll see is in Google Search Console or the aHrefs or SEMrush, whichever tool that you choose to use. I'm using aHrefs because I think they have the best information. They surface the most accurate information on links. But if you're on a budget, you can use Google Search Console. It's just limited by the amount of data available, and it also limits you to buy just 1,000 domains. So just bear that in mind. aHrefs is a brilliant tool, as I'm sure SEMrush is. So anyway, so any site can get hit with backlink attacks, or any site will pick up links naturally, especially if it's popular in Google. For example, let's say this is a authoritative site on pets, cats, dogs, and so on. If I'm starting a new site about the same subject, let's say down the line I'd like to compete with this site, I'm probably going to be asking my writers to add in links, external links to this website as a sign of authority to Google. So if I'm talking about a certain type of dog breed, I might be linking the related page on this domain. So you will pick up links over time, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of those will be a helpful part of your link profile, and nothing to be scared of, even if they have low DRs. This is why we need to very carefully audit any website's backlink profile, because there is some good stuff there, even in the low DRs. So with that said, let's look at some of the signals that are important for us to process. So the first one is DR. So if you're new to this world of SEO, so DR is aHrefs' own way of kind of amalgamating all of the link power going to a website or a domain, and it's called domain rating. This is a helpful indicator. This doesn't tell the whole story, but it gives you a way of bracketing large amounts of kind of data by the domain rating, so it's quite handy in that way. Next one to look at is the referring domains. So the referring domains are domains, other backlinks going to the website that's linking to the target website. So if Pancho Bar has 17 referring domains, that means there are 17 other websites that link to Pancho Bar. So it's quite straightforward. Just so you know, this is the majority of what makes up the DR. So this first example has over 600 websites referring domains linking to it, and it only has a DR of 15. So you can probably guess there's a lot of low quality kind of junk in there. Whereas this one has only 17 referring domains and ZR 15. So it's probably higher quality, maybe more legitimate links. So that's a good observation to note. The next one I want to look at is traffic. This can be a good way to filter as well as DR. So traffic is aHrefs' estimate at at a website's organic monthly clicks. It generally runs quite conservative, so it's quite helpful. It's rarely will overestimate on the real state of the traffic, and it gives us a clear understanding of what Google likes. So when you see sites like this with a 0, this eliminate.shop, that's not good. So there's questionable value if this site's getting 0 traffic from Google. Is the link, is there any value there, even at DR15? Possibly, possibly not. But it's another good signal. So that's one to bear in mind, organic traffic. Now, if you're trying to catch out link farms, of which a lot of the backlinks that you can buy on the internet are, you want to look for linked domains. So the linked domains column, it shows you the amount of outbound links from the website you're looking at. So let's go to PetMag. PetMag has 1,754 outbound links. Now that's not super wild when you've got 300-ish referring domains. I wouldn't be super scared of that, because let's say I'm writing an article and I want to link out to, I don't know, Wikipedia, and I want to link out to maybe a relevant news article on one of those sites, and then times that by 100 posts or 500 posts or whatever. That's quite reasonable. If it's 3x reasonable, 4x probably reasonable compared to the referring domains. So that's fine, I think. Now, if you see this site, which I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce, we've got 30 referring domains in and 57,000 out. I am staggered Google's given that any traffic at all. So this would be a red flag for me. It would be the ratio of linked domains from referring domains screams link farm, directory site, all of that. So what is a link farm? I guess there's a few different definitions, but what you want to watch out for is websites that sell guest posts, normally very cheap, and you can go and buy your guest post, no problem. Then another 1,000 people will buy their client's guest posts, and all of a sudden, the amount of power, link equity, as it were, that gets moved over to you, because this site has been so manipulated, I guess, with it's sold so many posts linking out to so many domains. It's going to be questionable. It may well have been given a penalty around selling links, which they do get issued. It's a manual penalty. You'll never see it in here. There's no way of seeing. So if you get linked to a site that has a manual penalty, the chances are that any benefits from that link will have been nullified or negated. So it's good just to filter these out, even if they have high DR. Sometimes sites like this, red flag. I would want to bin that off, quite honestly. So those are the things to look for. As you go through the actual audit, I'll show you my process when it comes to actually taking a look at the sites. I look at every single site. It's laborious. I'm to be honest, most audits aren't thousands of domains, so maybe it's in more of the hundreds, going up to 1,000 that you're going to need to look at. But as this is a very high DR site, it's a very aged site, there's lots of domains trying to stick to it, and that could be a huge factor in what's pulling down the organic click performance in Google for this site. Right, so I think what's next is we need to export it and start working with the data. Okay, so I hit export and I do all 2,998. I'm going to export it as a CSV because unfortunately I don't have the plan that enables me to go straight to Google Sheets, but I want to get into Google Sheets. So once you've got that, just copy and paste it into Google Sheets into a new spreadsheet. And this is what you're going to be looking at for this particular set of parameters. So again, I constrained it to DR15. On a second sweep, I'd probably increase this to maybe DR25, just make sure there's nothing there, but I will be more and more tolerant, I suppose, of the websites because they're carrying a lot more link equity with them when they link. So this is the trash though. This is the good stuff we're looking at really going after. So this is a bit difficult to read, so I'm going to take you to one I prepared earlier. My toolbar's in the way. Okay, I've just started on this one, but it's the same data. So I've just made it smaller font size. Everything's in the same order. You can see that. So it's DR, domain rating, domain traffic, referring domains, linked domains. I've got keywords there. Not super important. I'm just seeing if that maybe looks weird. If anything looks weird, then that can help us ascertain if it's a site that we want to keep or one we want to disavow. I've added a disavow section here, which is just for me to manually cross these off. I've done some conditional formatting. You can see how I've done it. This is just for my own visual aid. You can see if value is less than 250, make it pale red. If it's greater than 250, make it pale green. So this is for organic traffic. I normally do, if I've got a large amount of domains, I'll do this on the domains, the DR as well. I think I might still have it on 5 and below. Yeah, below 5. So you can see, if you see a lot of red, big problem. That's not good. Rarely that will be a legitimate site. So finally, with the linked domains, I've done a simple formula for conditional formatting, which is if it is greater than 3 times, just flag it up. 3 times the referring domains. Let me just say that again. If the linked domains are greater than referring domains times 3, flag it up red. So we can quickly identify problematic sites. So we're going to start from the bottom up, and a couple of things I'd recommend you do. You should probably have this in an incognito window, so extensions can't be installed by accident, and you should probably be using a VPN. There's going to be a lot of scammy stuff here. There's going to be a lot of sites which are trying to capture you with clicks, all sorts of stuff that is nefarious. And not only do you not want to have that site linking to you, but you don't want to then validate it by actually getting eyes on that website and then accidentally click. I've done this. I say this from experience. So use a VPN and use incognito. I'm going to go and do a few I've already done or validated already. So I just want to show you the process. So first of all, domain rating 0. Okay, has very little going for it. What's the referring domains? 0. So nothing links to it. Okay, well that's really bad. There's no traffic. So this is, I'd say, about as worthless as it gets. And it has no link domain. So at least it's not a link farm. It's not a sort of tier 2 automated web or any of that stuff. Automated network or PVN. So I'm going to just click on it. Okay, a prank site. Okay, a very bad prank site. Right, well, there's one more thing to think about along with all of these raw stats is the niche. So the context of this backlink audit is a pet website. So if we see websites talking about cats, dogs, pets, anything, that's fine. If we see websites talking about pranks, that's not going to help. Maybe if it's high DR or high traffic or both, even better, then we would tolerate that. We would make, we would keep that link. But when it comes to this sort of thing, bin it off. We'll disavow that. That's not great. Okay, next one. This is maybe a personal blog, maybe a bit spammy. I would get rid of that. Okay, asbestosboston.com. I think we know this isn't going to work out. Okay, spammy site. Get rid of it. Right, Portal. Okay, look, pets. Okay, it's low DR. It's zero traffic, but it's related. It's probably they're either hot linking an image, which is okay. That still transfers link equity when they do that, or they're linking out, as I said, for kind of authoritative context. So even though the stats suck, I would keep it in. I would rather be more conservative when it came to pruning backlinks, because obtaining backlinks is difficult, it's expensive and time consuming. So do be careful if you're looking at your own site or a client's site, and don't go too gung-ho with just deleting everything just because the stats don't work out. I think we'll still do a lot of damage, I mean that in a positive way, on these bad links by even allowing some of these. Okay, can't easily figure out what this is. It looks like a blog, but it's about pets. I'll take it. That's fine. Doctor's Insights. Spam. Right, get rid. Spam. Get rid. Spam. Oh, irrelevant. So that one again. Yeah, food. No. I'm not even going to click on that. It's just an IP address. That's not something we want. Okay, yeah, some sort of charity about animals. We'll keep that. This is the old school way of doing backlinks. It's not effective. We're getting rid of that. Okay, yeah. No, we're getting rid of that as well. SEO backlink builders. No, that's clearly not. Rough life. This is someone's personal Weebly. Okay, dogs. Rough. Okay, yeah. We'll keep it. Yeah, why not? That's fine. Okay, if it comes to a dead URL like that. So if you click on one of these domains and it goes through to like a broken page, I would get rid of that as well. That's not going to help. That will just be a kind of aHrefs being slow to remove it from the site from the index. Yeah, so I've skipped ahead. I've just adjusted the font size and I've pulled this column over, so it's a bit easier for me to see which ones are link farms. I mean, there's some pretty bad ones here. If you look at this one, one referring domain and 115,000 links going out. Other things to watch for are sites that are clearly in a different language. Google ranks in terms of there's lots of different ways the search engine works. It gives you results, but they will give you, if you're in America, they will give you American results, and if you get links from American websites, so that would certainly be .coms and things of that nature, websites that are speaking in American English, that will help boost you in those search terms. If you're in the UK like myself, then having .co.uk domains, they will boost you, or domains that are speaking in British English, that will also boost your relevance in Google search. So what I'm getting at is, if you're seeing lots of .India, if you're seeing .ir, if you're seeing .hk, .br, Brazil, Hong Kong, while they may be legitimate, they're not gonna move the needle. So there are other ones to kind of filter out. Again, this is only in the context of these low DR, almost negligently tiny DR sites. So just bear that in mind, but it can help filter these out. Great. So I should probably explain a bit about what a link farm is and how they work. So there's sites like this. I think that's Myri Wines, a family-owned winery in Chile, in the heart of the Maule Valley. Okay, sounds lovely. So what that is it would have been a legitimate site once upon a time, and then either the business has gone out of business or they've rebranded and they've let this old domain go. You shouldn't do that, by the way. You should redirect it to your new one, but regardless, the domain is now up for grabs. It's gone to an auction site. It's an aged domain and someone snapped it up. They then rebuild the original content, basically stealing the copyrighted material. They'll republish that. You can do that from archive.org. It's a good shot. You can get most of the old content. You repurpose that, and then you sell guest posts. You go to guest post providers. It's kind of the really seedy side of link building, and you charge very small amount of money, and you can then, with 9 referring domains, you'll sell 31,818 guest posts. And that's why they've got the link domains going out. So it's a great business if you can do it, but yeah, it won't add any value if it's DR0. I'm actually surprised the original content's got a bit of traffic. But that's what these link farms are. They get more and more egregious. You'll see some wild numbers, even in this example. I mean, we're at 138,000 out, 11 in. It's just sort of, you can pick these out, these ones we want to really avoid. Yeah, 97,000. So that's a good thing to bear in mind. If you want to buy links legitimately, there are probably about 20 proper link vendors who will do the work to get you quality sites. I'm going to unashamedly plug my own site, which is Velocity Links. My business partner and I have been in this world. We've been immersed in it for many years. I have bought so many backlinks to fuel my projects over the years, and I know what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, you don't want the red, you want lots of green. So that's what we try to provide. So shameless plug over. I think we're getting to a point where we've got, I think I'm about half or a third way through this process for this particular DR15 and below data set, and it's time to export them into a disavow file. So I think we need to spend a bit of time looking at the disavows. So this is Google's disavow tool. They hide it away. It's a part of Search Console, but as far as I know, they don't actually link it anymore. But you can find the URL, and you log in your Google account. You select your website. The website owner has kindly given me permission to demo this on their account, and so they've already disavowed 124 domains. And what you want to do is download that list. It's going to come up as a text file with a rather long name and the sort of epoch time stamped on there. And then you should end up with a file that looks like this. So this is just an online editor, because I can't really show you a text file with this software screen renderer. But anyway, this is what a disavow file looks like. If it's got a hash, it's a comment, so it won't read that. So you've just got the prefix of domain, colon, then the domain. No WWs, no subdomains. It's purely the root domain that needs to be in here. And you can see this is quite an organized disavow file. It's much more organized than most of the ones I've come across. It's got it by date, there's batches, and so on and so forth. That all looks good. So what you want to do is you're going to want to grab all of those domains. You can filter it in the spreadsheet by the first column, the disavow column that has the X in. If you filter it ascending or descending like that, you can group them all up, and you can just drag all the domains, put them into a text editor. You're going to need to figure out a fast way of writing domain, colon, then the domain with no space, line by line, and then you can add them like domain, my domain, my low dr domain to be disavowed .br. There you go. So So that is how you do it. Then once you've got that, you save it. Always keep a backup of the previous one in case you need to roll it back. Then you come back, you press replace, you point to that file, and off you go. I believe they still send you back a email notification to the account holder that the disavow has been triggered, and it should repopulate this. So yeah, so that's the full life cycle of a backlink audit. I've got a bit more work to do on this one before I can set my own disavow, but I'm hoping that will help you. And if you've got any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will thank you for your time. So that was my beginner's backlink audit. I just want to thank you for your time, and I hope to produce more videos around SEO that would be helpful to you, maybe. I mean, these audits, SEO companies will charge $500 to maybe $2,500 for them, and you can see it is very valuable, but it's not that difficult. It's just you just need to remember what signals you're looking for, and make sure that you're thorough and methodical about your approach to executing on those. I'm going to say once again, thank you for your time. And yeah, if you have any questions, just shoot them in a comment below, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.